Makosi, welcome to my channel. And let's talk about Amagedla or Igedla or Bokhehla ancestors, what they are and what was their purpose or what are their purpose. How can we use them in this modern day and age? Now, Abukhetla were, or Bokhehla or Amagedla were indigenous warriors. These were people historically being sent out there to gather intelligence that will help benefit the kingdoms. Remember that we were kingdom based. So what the Gedla ancestors or the Bokhehla ancestors will do is they'll go in different disguises. Sometimes there will be people who will come as in healers being sent to other places, the traders, like people who are selling things, going to other places, or just people, even someone getting married into the neighboring country or neighboring kingdom so that they can gather intelligence that can be used by their kings or queens, as an advantage or disadvantage over the other kingdoms or their enemies. Now, only advantage over their enemies, right? Now, the Gedla ancestors, when they come to us in the dream state, they come in different ways. Remember that not everyone will get the Gedla ancestors, or the Gedla ancestors will be revealed to them at this in their early stages in their spiritual path. You have to go through other things before the Gedla ancestors will appear to you. Or sometimes you have to go through some serious training before your Gedla ancestors will appear to you, because obviously they have to make sure that the people that they're coming to are the right people for them, right? I'm talking about as in the knowledge that they're coming with. They have to make sure that you're the right person for the knowledge that they'll be giving you. Now, remember that in this day and age, there are things that are happening to us as people, as the collective. So the Gedla ancestors are coming in because remember they are there for our survival. Our survival. They're there for the preservation of our culture, our values, and stuff like that. That is our Gedla ancestors. Because remember that, like I said, historically, we were kingdom-based people. So we'll have the kings and queens and subjects and stuff like that. So we were ruled by kings and queens who were selected to be our leaders. I'm not talking about what has happened now, because things have changed, right? Some of our kingdoms have disappeared, and some of our kingdoms are not really our kingdoms. They were just So anyway, what I mean is they were just created. Now, our Gedlas were there as warriors, heroes. They were our heroes. Remember, as heroes or warriors, meaning that they have to gather knowledge from others, intelligence from others. They have to use their skills. They have to use skills, meaning that they have to know about medicinal plants. They have to know about nature, how to communicate disguise as animals, how to use animal noises, how to use coded languages, songs, so that they can infiltrate, or they can give each other or warn others about enemies coming, or they can warn others about things that will be creating havoc to the community if they are not being looked after, they are not being taken care of, or being managed the right way. So that is our Gedla ancestors. That is what their job was all about: being loyal patriots to help their kingdom. Now, what happens when they come to us? Remember, these are the people who do certain things. They will terminate someone like that so quickly that you wouldn't even know that you're being terminated, because some termination will take longer. Someone will be laughing with you while you are in the presence of psychedelic thing that they've banned, or maybe they've put on their body, that you're laughing with them and something is taking effect on you. That is going to mess your brain up, that by the time you finish laughing, you're gone, as in gone, because that is their skill, isn't it? They use the herbs that they knew those herbs will be helping. If you're dealing with an enemy, you have to use different tactics, right? Now, I'm talking about ancient knowledge. So they'll be using different things. So when the Gedlas are working like that, that means even in the dream state, their teachings will be teaching you about how to wake people up, like mess someone up while you're laughing with them. It is intelligence, isn't it? You're there laughing with someone. And while you're laughing with someone, you're getting knowledge from that person, right? And you want to get knowledge so that the knowledge that you're getting will be able to help your communities. I'm talking about the Gedla ancestors, right? Now, remember that these were people I'm talking about now when you're getting information in the dream state. Now, the Gedla ancestor can turn you into a real life Gedla if you were to use their knowledge the right way and using it to benefit the collective, not for personal gain, to benefit the collective. Remember, I'm talking about people with knowledge coming into your dream state or coming to you, spiritually coming to you. And you can become a Gedla physically, meaning that you can become a proper person who can use the knowledge to gain advantage over the other. Not gain advantage over your husband or your wife. Gain advantage that will benefit the collective. We are not talking about gaining advantage over your neighbor. You know, your number one, your number two neighbor. And then you're there sitting down there with gained knowledge and advantage, and it cannot be used to benefit the community. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what the Gedla ancestor or Gedla person is supposed to be doing. Now, when it comes to gaining advantage, it means that you have to have knowledge of people around you, meaning that you have to study people. You have to study even the language. You have to know. You have to get cues. You understand? You can read people, right? That is the Gedla within you. You understand? You can gain knowledge by studying people. You can manipulate people. You can deceive people. You can work yourself around someone and get things that will be beneficial for the collective. I'm not talking about personal gains. I'm not about personal gains. I'm talking about the Gedla ancestors being used, the spiritual Gedla ancestors being physically used in day to day for the collective. Now, our Gedla ancestors, they used to be trackers. They will track you. Now, our roads now, they are becoming roads where you can't literally track someone because of the way the system is changing things, right? Meaning that even our intelligence is changing. So now we are using cyber intelligence, meaning that we are using what? The internet, right? But we, with our Gedla ancestors, we are using spiritual intelligence, right? So if I have Gedla ancestor and I become Gedla, remember that it doesn't have to be men. The Gedla ancestors don't have to be men. Men and women can become agents. And when it comes to women, a woman can hold you by the metaphorical balls, meaning that her hand can become lethal or enjoyable, depending on how the hand is holding the ball, metaphorical ball, the balls. Now, our Gedla ancestors were very, very strategic when it comes to gaining an advantage over an enemy, protecting the resources, protecting our land. Now, when I'm talking about these two things, because we have lost, struggling to gain these two things, right? And our sanity, the third thing, mind. Now, our Gedlas are coming in so that we can regain these three things I'm talking about: the mind, resources, the land. They're not there for anything else. If the Gedlas comes to you, they're not there for anything else. They're not there for you to learn about herbs so that you can use the herbal properties to mentally mess with someone's mind so that they can think the way that you want them to think, as in love. They are not there so that you can use the herbs, the medicinal knowledge, to make money so that you can build a huge house. Our Gedla ancestors are not there for that. They are there for the collective. They are not there for personal gain. They are there for the collective. Therefore, it means the knowledge that they are giving you, they will give you the knowledge that is good for the collective. So they will help you understand what they've experienced. They will help you get the knowledge. They will tell you about their failures, what happened, why they failed certain missions, what we can use strategically now with the knowledge that they have, with the experience that they've lived, and what created them to die, because sometimes their strategies didn't work as much as it was meant to be working. So what can we use with the knowledge that they have now in this modern day and age for our survival? To protect our resources. To stay grounded. To be spiritually far. That is what your Gedla ancestors will be coming with, the information for that. So we have observed the things that are happening around us now, we can see when we are being misled. We can see when we are being deceived. We can see when we are being manipulated. We can see when our knowledge, as in medicinal knowledge, is being used against us, even though the knowledge is being taken from us. We can see when the minerals, the resources, I'm talking about minerals, the minerals that can help us heal, the coppers, the golds, we cannot use them the way that we're supposed to use them. We cannot access them when we're supposed to access them. We can see that we are struggling with that bit. Now we can see that our beaches, they have become privatized, or they have become privatized. We can't even go and cleanse in them. Now, the Bokhehla ancestors are giving us knowledge. They are telling us that the kind of people that we are dealing with now, the enemies that they dealt with before, they haven't changed. They haven't changed. What has changed is us, the way we think about the knowledge that we have and the knowledge that we are being given, and we are not using it the right way. The people haven't changed. It is us, due to circumstances and adversaries that we've gone through. We have changed. But what they dealt with hasn't changed. It is only in name that it is changing. But it hasn't changed. So, Bokhehla ancestors are feeding us information that will make us re-evaluate circumstances that have happened. Think about what we can do now so that we can thrive as people. I am talking about your Amagedla ancestors and their purpose and what they are showing you in those dreams. And you, as a person, cannot have the Amagedla or Bokhehla ancestors or Amagedla ancestors and be too nice. You can't be too nice unless if the circumstances need you to be too nice on a mission. Strategically, you have to be too nice so that you can blend in with the environment that needs you to be nice. When we're talking about the Amagedla ancestors, morality has to be right or wrong and be good either way. When I'm talking about that, I mean that if it serves the collective. And here I'm not talking about physical. I'm talking about when they are teaching you about things in those dream states. Sometimes in order to get the upper hand, you have, if you've been tested in those dream states, you have to do certain things to get an advantage over something. Right? That is the Amagedla training in those dream states. Now, I see that it can be misappropriated because remember that if you are to become a Amagedla, a living Amagedla yourself, it means you have to be skilled in whatever that your Amagedla ancestors will be taking. Remember that if you are supposed to be Amagedla, meaning that to get to be like in the kind of where you're getting information, like the intelligence, you have to be in a particular environment or particular location. That means you have to be disguising as if you are this particular way. So that means they will train you in this particular way so that if you were to be used, physically be used, you can be in that environment. That will be, you'll be able to gain intelligence while you're in that environment. It doesn't necessarily mean that you become that. It means that you are there to gain intelligence as that, meaning that you are in disguise as that. That means your training will be, you are trained, if let's say me, I am trained as I'm going to be working as a cleaner somewhere, with the Gedla, gaining intelligence as a cleaner. That means I have to use the skill of a cleaner to be in that particular place so I can gain intelligence. So the message here is the Gedla ancestors were indigenous warriors, meaning that they were using the intelligence. They were there for the intelligence, to gather intelligence for the kingdom. Gather intelligence so that they will benefit the people. Gather intelligence so that the people can thrive. Gather intelligence so that people can be out of danger. Gather intelligence so that they can infiltrate enemies and terminate. Gather intelligence so that they can arm their people if they needed to. Right? That was the Gather ancestors. Gather ancestors. I mean, the Gather ancestors. Like Bokhehla, the ancestors. That was what their purpose. Their purpose was that. So if you in the dream state, or if you're being told that you've got Igedla or Bokhehla or Amagedla, that means we are talking about people who were there to gather intelligence in whatever way, whatever form, they will be there to do as such, to gather intelligence to help their collective, or to help their nation, or to help their community, to help their kingdom. That is what Amagedla or Igedla or Bokhehla were all about. That is what it was all about. So remember that when they come to you, their training, you'll see, is more into the intelligence side of things. So that is just that. I would